Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to start our new chapter from your textbooks, that is Oxford Reading Circle, and that is Crafty Tom. So students, open your book on page number 172. Topic name is Crafty Tom, which is lesson number 22. Students, basically the purpose of reading this chapter is to enhance and improve your reading skills and vocabulary also. So students, do read this chapter twice or thrice at least thoroughly, and do mark the difficult words and look for the meaning from the dictionary and learn them by heart for the improvement of your skills. So let's begin with the chapter. Scene 1. Inside Tom and Sid's bedroom. The curtain rises. Tom and his brother Sid are asleep. Tom waking up and looking at the clock. 6 o'clock. I'm not getting up. Tom goes back to sleep. A moment later, he jumps out of bed and picks up a calendar from the desk. Tom, oh my goodness, it's Saturday? I have a history test today. Oh no. Tom thinks for a while, then gets back into bed. Tom pretending, oh, I'm dying. Sid waking. What's all the noise about? Tom, help me, the lion is under my bed. Sid jumping up and looking under Tom's bed. What lion, Tom? What are you talking about? Tom, remove the knife. I can stand the pain. Sid, what knife, Tom? Are you in pain? Tom, I'm dying, Sid. It's got me. Sid, what's got you? Tom, the dreaded. I don't know what it is called, but it's got me. I'm dying, Sid. Sid, what brought you talking? You have probably just got a stomach ache or a fever. Tom feebly. No, it's worse, Sid. Hand me a piece of paper and a pen from the desk. Sid, whatever for? I want to write my last will and testament. Sid, testament? What's that? Oh, I know you have a test today, haven't you? It's a test you are meant to write. Ha. Tom, it's not funny, Sid. I tell you, I'm ill. Now get me that pen and paper. I'm leaving everything to you. Sid, you have been a good brother. Tom. Sid, Tom, are you serious? You are scaring me. Tom, I'm really ill, Sid. I'm going to drop dead. Sid runs to the door. Sid, I'll get Aunt Polly. As he leaves, he shouts, Aunt Polly, come quick. Tom is dying. Tom jumps out of bed, runs to the desk, takes a pen and marks his face and arms with red spots. Aunt from outside, what's all this about Tom being ill? He was fine yesterday. Tom jumps into bed and begins to groan. Aunt Polly and Sid enter. Aunt, now Tom, what's the matter? Sid, he's very ill, Aunt Polly, he's dying. Aunt, how silly, we shall soon see about that. Tom, sit a boy. Tom feebly, I can't, Aunt Polly, I am going. Aunt, don't talk nonsense, boy. Dr. Martin will be here soon. With my pills, he can have a look at you while he's here. Tom, it's no use. I'm done for. Sid, oh please, Tom, don't die. Aunt, stop all this talk about dying. Nobody's going to die. Knocking is hard. That's all. Be the doctor. Let him in, Sid, and ask him to come up here. Tom continues to groan. Aunt Polly tidies the room, then gives Tom a hug, pressing her cheek against his. Some of the ink comes onto her cheek. Aunt, the doctor will tell us how ill you are. Tom, I'm sure it's nothing serious. Enter Sid with the doctor. Doctor, good morning. Sid tells me that Tom is poorly. Aunt, good morning, doctor. Yes, he is. I don't know what the matter is with the boy. Would you mind having a quick look at him? Doctor, yes, certainly. Aunt, thank you, doctor. Tom was supposed to go to school today to do a test, but he will have to miss it now. Doctor, well, let me have a look at the patient. He sits on Tom's bed and examines him. Now those are some nasty looking spots you have there. Tom, do they itch? Tom, yes, doctor. They are driving me mad, and the pain is terrible. Doctor, really? He feels Tom's forehead. Your temperature is normal, but I'm worried about those spots. He looked at the desk and smiles to himself. Sid, can you make him better, doctor? Doctor, sure, Sid, but the trouble is the cure is very painful. The only thing that will work is a course of 6 injections, and the needle is rather large. He takes a large syringe and the needle from his bag and holds it up. Sid, gosh, that's big enough for a horse. Aunt, my goodness, are you sure the poor boy needs 6 injections with that thing? Doctor, yes, quite sure. Aunt, whatever is the matter with him? Doctor, a serious illness. I'm afraid others can catch it. The medical term for it is testates abscessus, and this is the only cure. Aunt, oh dear, will it hurt? Doctor, hurt? The pain is awful, but I'm sure he wants to get better. Don't you, Tom? Tom worried. Well, I'm feeling better already, doctor. I don't think I need the injections. Can we wait a while till tomorrow, perhaps? Aunt, oh dear, I do feel faint. My legs have turned to rub. Does he need those injections, doctor? The doctor looks at Aunt Polly. He sees red mark on her face and smiles. Doctor, yes, I'm sure. But as I said before, Tom's illness can be spread to others. You might need the injection as well. Aunt, me? Whatever for. I feel fine. Doctor, have you looked in a mirror recently? Aunt, a mirror? No, I haven't. Aunt Polly goes to the wall and looks in the mirror. Doctor, do you see what I mean? It's catching. Aunt Polly looks at the doctor. He points to the pen and Aunt Polly notes, wipes her face and moves over to the bed. Sid stifles his laughter. Aunt, Tom, what are we to do with you? I think we can give him the injections. Doctor, you did say that would hurt. Doctor, yes, they are might painful and the side effects can be serious. And side effects? Doctor, yes, in some cases the patient hair falls out, but that won't bother Tom, will it? Tom, no, doctor, no injection. I really do feel better. Aunt Polly wipes Tom's face with a handkerchief. Aunt, you scam. Tom, you scam, Tom, you horrible child. Get out of bed this instant. Spots indeed, and look at the mess you have made of these sheets. Get washed and come downstairs immediately. Since you have missed your test today, I shall make you work. Tom jumps out of bed. Doctor, well, what a remarkable recovery. Laughing, surprising what the sight of an injection can do. Scene 2. Outside Tom's house. There is a long dirty grey wall on one side. Tom, Sid and Aunt Polly enter. Tom is carrying a bucket of white paint and a couple of large brushes. Aunt, here we are. Now Tom, get cracking and paint that wall. And you can stop when you have finished, not before. Tom, oh Aunt, but it is a very long wall. Aunt, I know and I wish it were longer. You have been wicked. Whatever shall I say to your teacher on Monday? I'll look a fool. Sid, can I go now, Aunt Polly? Aunt, yes, you can run along and play, Sid. But let this be a warning. I hope you won't end up like your brother. Sid, thank you, Aunt. Bye. Tom, I'll see you later. Tom gets down to work, exits Sid and Aunt Polly. Tom, oh brother, work, how I hate it. I'll be here all morning. I wonder how can I make this fun. Enter Fred and Dave. Fred, hello Tom, you look busy. What a job to have to do on a bright day like this. Dave, we're off to meet the gang at the pump. Are you coming? Tom, I have better things to do today than play with you and Fred. Fred, do you call this work better than playing? Tom, certainly. Just watch this. Tom uses the brush to draw a large face on the wall. He writes Polly under it. Dave and Fred laugh. Dave, here let me have a go. Tom, no, no, Dave. I want to enjoy it myself. You go off and play. Dave, please Tom, let me paint a little bit. Tom, no, I tell you now, go away. Dave, I'll let you have this apple if you let me paint a little. He takes out an apple. Tom, all right then, but not for long. Tom takes the apple and sits down on a bench. He bites into apple. Dave begins to paint. Fred, can I have a go after him, Tom? Tom, what's in it for me? Fred, I'll let you have this catapult. He hands Tom his catapult. Tom, reluctantly, all right, you can have a go after Dave has finished. Fred, thanks, Tom. This is really exciting. Tom, you'll have to leave some for me to do. I don't want you to have all the fun. Fred, can I use the other brush, Tom? Tom, I suppose so, but don't paint too much of the wall. Leave some for me. Mary, Sally, and Jane enter. They stand and watch. They whisper and giggle. Mary, hello, boys. What are you up to? Dave, what does it look like, Mary? Fred, yes, what do you think we are doing? Tom, they are having some fun painting the wall. Then it's my turn. Please leave us. Dave, yes, go off and play with your dolls or something. Leave us to have our fun. Sally, you call this fun? Jane, it looks more like a hard work to me. Tom, just leave us alone, will you? Dave, you had better give me your brush now. Oh no, Tom, just a little longer, please. Tom, no, your time is up. I want my turn. Mary, well, what a fun. Can I have a go too? Tom, you are only a girl. I don't think you will be able to do this. It's man's work, you know. Sally, please, Tom, let me have a try. Jane, and me? Mary, I asked first. Tom, sorry, I can't eat another apple just yet. And I don't play with dolls. I'm sure you have nothing useful to give me. Mary, here, she hands Tom a lollipop. How about this lollipop? Tom, all right, Mary. Take my brush, I'll wait a bit. Sally, can I have a go next? You can have this beautiful black beetle I found this morning. Tom, examining the beetle. All right, you can have the brush after Fred has finished. Sally, thanks, Tom. Can I wait? Jane, I can let you have these marbles, Tom. She hands Tom 4 marbles. Tom, that's fine, Jane. You will have to wait till Mary has finished. Tom sits and examines his new things. The other way they turn. Aunt Polly enters. Aunt, well, bless my soul. Well, bless my soul. Tom, 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 you crafty soul. Whatever shall I do with you? So basically the main character of this chapter is Tom. In the first scene, Tom and his brother were sleeping. Tom woke up and looked at the clock. It was 6 by then. Then he looked at the calendar. It was Saturday. He recalled his memory and got remembered that it was his history test on Saturday and he was not prepared for it. So he played a wicked trick. He went back to bed and started pretending as if he was ill severely, as if he will die within minutes, and started shouting and screaming and yelling out of fear and of death, and started speaking nonsense. Sid could not understand anything and got afraid and brought his Aunt Polly. Before Aunt Polly comes, Sid stood up and put the red marks on his face from red pen and put the pen back on the table. The next moment, Aunt Polly came and got frightened. She saw this condition of Tom. She went too close to her and gave her a hug. Some of the marks come on Aunt Polly's face, while Tom continued yelling. Aunt Polly ordered Sid to bring the doctor. Within a couple of minutes, the doctor arrived. The doctor arrived and gave a quick look. Doctor started examining the Tom. Aunt Polly started describing the scenario out of stress. Tom had his test today, but it does not seem possible now. Doctor said, let me have a detailed look over the patient. Doctor saw the nasty spots on Tom's face and asked him that whether they itch or not. Tom replied that he is getting crazy out of pain. Doctor checked the temperature of Tom, which found out normal. Doctor was worried about the spots. He looked at the feebly a trick like Tom to make him confess, and understood the whole situation and played a trick like Tom to make him confess. Sid asked to the doctor whether he can make Tom feel better. Doctor said surely he can be well, but the problem is that the cure is extremely painful, and that is the course of 6 giant injections. Doctor took out the injections. Everybody got scared. Aunt Polly interrogated to the doctor that is it necessary, doctor? Doctor said yes, of course, aunt. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Aunt asked him, what is the matter, doctor? Doctor said, a severe illness which can be spread in a medical terminology. We call it testitis absentius, and this is the only cure. Aunt Polly asked it, is it going to be hurt? Doctor said, severely. In fact, I'm scared he might loses his hairs too. I'm scared he might lose his hairs too. Aunt Polly felt bad of Tom and requested to stop the procedure, but doctor said, as I mentioned earlier, it can be spread and if not cured. I'm afraid that you might need the injections too. Then he saw the same scars on Aunt Polly's face. Aunt Polly got scared to hear this and got afraid. Aunt Polly said, but I'm fine, doctor. Aunt Polly said, no, I haven't. No, I have. Then I'm fine, doctor. Asked, have you seen the mirror recently? Aunt Polly said, no, I haven't. Then Aunt Polly looked in the mirror and got scared. Then turned towards the doctor and saw the smiley face and shiny eyes which were pointing on the pen on the table. Aunt Polly got the story and wiped his face and stood next to Tom. While Sid was controlling his laughter, Aunt Polly started pretending as if she does not know the matter, asked the doctor to start the procedure. Tom got scared and said, I don't need any injections, I feel better now. Aunt Polly removes all the scars on the face of Tom with a handkerchief and started scolding him. You mischievous, go downstairs and wash the bed sheets this moment and clean all the mess you have made, as you have skipped your test today. Doctor said, what a remarkable recovery, with a great laughter. In scene 2, as a punishment, Aunt Polly gave some brushes and paint to Tom to paint the wall, and allowed Sid to go and play with a warning, and went back to do her house chores. The next moment, Tom's friends comes and asks him to go along them, but Tom refuses. They insisted him again and again, and Tom refused. Then they found the joy into it, and it attracted and wanted to do it out of fun, and requested Tom to let them do a little bit, but Tom refused it, saying, what will I am going to do? What will I am going to have in return? Then some other girls joined them. They also found a tempting job. They requested Tom one by one, and everybody gave something in return. This is how he used his smartness and earned so much without doing anything, and he left Aunt Polly speechless too.